One.
Welcome back to the Sports Den Roundtable. I'm in the building with Sam, Tony,
What's up?
and Rory. So we're about to get into it a little bit. A lot of action. We just got out of a slow period in the sporting world, but things are starting to heat up again. Getting ready to move into the NFL draft after the combine last week. But free agency opened a few days ago, and we already had some movement, a lot of movement going on. A lot of teams look to be a little different going into next year. So I'm going to get a little perspective from my colleagues here. Sam, what do you think about some of the moves that have taken place to this point?
Well, as a hometown guy, got to say the biggest move was bolstering up the defense for the Jets. Give a little compliment to Revis on the other side with the pickup of Cromartie. He held it down in Arizona for the last year. Pro Bowl.
San Diego
for the last year. He was a stalwart in their defense, but since they're breaking down over there, we'll bring it over to this part of town. If I'm not a homer, a big move, again, will be roll on the other side of town, because I'm not really a Giants fan, but however, the Giants do hold it down in New York City. That's a big move for me. What do you believe?
I mean, personally, I like Antoine Bolden to the Ravens. They've been starving for a wide receiver for a long time.
Forever.
I mean, physical guy, run the routes over the middle. Definitely help Joe Flacco's progression. And with Ray Rice coming back, pass catching out of backfield, running good, they're definitely going to be a big-time threat, coming up in the AFC. Let me see, another move I like. Honestly, I think that while the Bears didn't really get a big-time wide receiver that they needed, they got definitely picked up some good players that will help them with the schematics of things, help them matriculate the ball down the field.
Who did the Bears pick up this time?
They got Mala, I can't even pronounce his name, the guy from San Diego, though.
Okay.
They also picked up...
Well, they picked up Julius Peppers.
And they picked up Julius Peppers
the most coveted free agent on the market.
What else you see going on out there? A lot of people are talking about Ocho Cinco's vowing to meet up with Terrell Owens. 85 plus 81 equals 16 and 8. That's a Super Bowl season there. You didn't even realize that, right? 168 if you had both. You think that's going to come to fruit roar?
Nah, I don't really see Terrell Owens going to the Bengals. Although if any team could straighten him out, and there's a team that pretty much does a good job with these reclamation projects, it would be the Bengals, who tend to go out and get troubled individuals and outspoken personalities. They've been able to actually have a functioning locker room situation with Chad Johnson and all of his antics. So bringing in Terrell Owens, it wouldn't surprise me if they were able to coexist. However, I don't think that there's just enough, rock to go around for both of these guys.
What do you think is going to happen in the offseason? What other free agent moves you see going on?
I mean, well, to be honest with you, once the big one fell, which was Mr. Peppers going to the Bears, there's not really much left out there. You had Carlos Dansby going to Miami from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of the bigger moves you've already seen. Now, you have to keep in mind that the draft is coming up, so there's probably going to be a lot of movement draft day. You might see guys traded for picks and other players and things like that. But for the most part in free agency, I think the bigger deals have already taken place. I don't really expect to see anything a little bit more outlandish.
Well, I also believe you're forgetting the number one free agent of all time, Brett Favre. Where do you think he's going to end up?
Brett Favre is coming back to Minnesota if he's going to play.
If he's smart.
If he's going to play, he's going to be. So that's not even a question.
So if that's not the question, my question is, where do you find Michael Vick and Donovan McNabb, as well as, what's the other guy, Cobb? Where's he going to end up?
He doesn't count.
So how's he going to play for?
Cobb doesn't count. Michael Vick is a free agent.
I heard they're going to pick up his option, from what I hear.
The talk has been possibly Donovan getting traded to the Rams, which would not really be a good move. I don't think it would benefit any side.
Moving on with that right here, it seems as if
I expect Donovan McNabb to be back in Philadelphia next year.
All right, we'll leave it on that right there. But you know who won't be back there? Westbrook's not going to be back there, which brings it into, he's becoming older. 30 years seems to be the cutoff point for running backs.
Correct.
As of recent, we had Westbrook, like I said. We've had one of the all-time greats, LaDainian Tomlinson. He's been cut from his team. Thomas Jones has been cut from the Jets, but it seems as if they're trying to pick him up. The Chiefs seem to know what's going on with Jones. He's working out for them this week. But what do you feel about that right there?
Well, out of those three guys, whose production has not really suffered the most as they kind of age, and attrition catches up with them is Thomas Jones.
Correct.
Thomas Jones has been very productive the last 2 years. While his production has stayed the same or went up, you've seen Tomlinson and Westbrook steadily decline. Both guys have been injury riddled. Jones, however, has amazingly been able to stay healthy. Now, a lot of that could be attributed to the line he's running behind. What do you think?
I mean, definitely is, but I just think that his strength, his workout, all-season program, definitely helps him out. But I think that Westbrook can bring a lot more to a team in terms of pass catching out of the backfield. He's a veteran. He knows the blocking schemes, or he can learn the blocking schemes quick. He said as long as he could come back from the concussions that he had.
That's a key point. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, he's had maybe like 7 or 8 throughout his career. He's had a lot.
He's worth the risk. It depends on how much you got to pay for him. But if you bring him back, you bring him into your organization, I think he'll definitely bring a lot more positives than negatives.
All right, and then looking back on that again, the combine just happened. Which rookie or do you see that's over the gun, under the gun, or in between? Do you have your eye on any rookies out here, or someone from coming out of college this year who might put up big numbers?
Oh no, I'm not a big Notre Dame man, as you all know, but I got my eye on Jimmy Clausen. I think he's got good size, he's got a good arm. Just think he needs to get into the right system. If he gets into the right system, he should be able to produce and be a top level starter in a couple years.
About yourself, bro?
Well, I'm not a real big combine guy.
But beyond the combines and all of that, I'm just talking about college guys. Who you see coming in?
Well, 2 guys that I got my eye on is Des Bryant. Is that the guy? The Oklahoma State? Yeah,
correct.
Des Bryant.
He's huge, yeah.
He seems to be a guy who could be a game breaker, playmaker. So I'll be interested to see who goes after him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always, I am a Jet fan. So if we could somehow get our hands on that guy, that would be awesome. Another guy I got my eye on is the tight end out of Oklahoma. He seems to be pretty good, pretty athletic.
Gresham, that his name? Or is
I'm not sure, but there's a
Gresham,
Gresham,
yeah, from Oklahoma. He seems to be a dynamic guy. Once again, come in the league, real athletic, sort of like the hybrid tight end that we've come to know and love. Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, myself, I believe I'm looking at the gentleman C.J. Spiller coming from Clemson. Fastest man alive according to himself. Chad Johnson. Excuse me, not Chad Johnson.
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson's heir apparent, it seems, speed kills, so I'll be looking out for him. Football, the season's not here, but it's America's pastime. We're here to talk about it all the time. It's the Sports Den, and we're logging off. See you next time.
Signing out.